give everybody a chance to come on in. I just want to show you what's happening in the garden and some of our plans on what we're going to do next. Now, I will do a few more videos and I'll also do kind of like a garden tour as we're prepping. But I thought it would be cool to see how what cabbage looks like when it bolts and the different stages. It was my intention to go ahead and get out here today and harvest the one cabbage head that I see right now, but time got away from me. So hopefully I can do that early in the morning, because one of the reasons why a lot of the cabbages bolt like that is because different fluctuations in temperatures, which has been the case for us here. Because I think last week it was 80, one day it was 75, then it went down to 59. So it's just really been like back and forth. Seriously, y'all, back and forth with the temperatures, which is causing the cabbage to bolt. But I just want to show you what's going on in the garden and what we plan on doing next in the garden. And I'm going to talk as loud as I can because I think the AC just kicked on. It was really a nice day today. But we'll start with this bed right here. So y'all, I got lots of beautiful parsley that is growing and that I'm going to have to harvest. And one thing about my herbs is I like to do it either early in the morning or late in the evening, just so I can get as much freshness and essential oils that's in the plant as possible, because when the heat of the day, like the essential oils evaporate and then they just kind of come back in. So I'm probably not going to get to it today. So I'm going to start harvesting this parsley right here. This is curly parsley, but I had started these seeds. This is like mulberry, shades, pansy. And y'all, it has been so much pollen. Like I've been taking it like a champ. I have, but it's just been so much pollen that's fallen. When I just shook this plant right here, I could see the pollen. So let's really quickly start with the first bed right here. So we got our parsley. These are we started these from seeds, and then this is the winter savory that I started from seeds. So we put that in here. Now I planted these shallots in fall and they're starting to come back. And then maybe 2 weeks ago, I didn't label it. We started these little turnips here. These are, I want to say these are heuchera turnips. They thinned out. I do need to go ahead and feed them. That's on my tasker list to do, is really feed the plants. So we'll get that done. And then I think we got white and red shallots, but I think this might be the red and this might be the white. And I hope I just didn't pull something I was supposed to, because these are starting to emerge back from the soil too. But this is what I wanted to share with y'all. And I'll probably put a YouTube short on here to show you. So with all the fluctuation of temperatures, this is what the cabbage looks like when it is starting to bolt and go to seed. So do y'all see how the head is just opening up and coming out? And then this one right here, although the bees love it, honey, they've been all over these flowers, but this is the cabbage that's bolted. But what I told one lady, believe it or not, like if y'all make salads, and I'll show you the salad greens in a minute, these flowers are totally edible. But I've been leaving them here for the pollinators and they've been loving it. Now, probably in a couple of weeks, you will start to see seed pods where all these flowers at. You'll start to see seed pods. But here's the thing. This is what I always tell people. And we did a video on this a few years ago. If you're going to save seeds, I like for the seeds to be open, pollinated, and or heirloom, because I'm not saying you can't save seeds, but if you do save the seeds, they may not come back true to type. So that's the thing. But I do think that this cabbage is an heirloom, but I'm not going to save them because I got so many plants, y'all. When I tell you I got so many plants that I have got to get planted and put out here. I had to take a lot of the plants inside because the other night we got down to 30 degrees, and these are some of our plants that are not frost tolerant, and I just didn't want to risk them being damaged by the frost, because we did have a frost. So this is what it looks like. So it starts off in this stage and then it ends up with this stage, but I'm going to harvest this baby probably tomorrow, and then I'll probably harvest some of the darker leaves to go with it, and we're just gonna cook it. You can still make a meal out of it. I'm not gonna waste it, that's for sure. So we'll go ahead and pull those, and I think I'm gonna put some Snapdragon in its place, and then I think I have some, I want to say Cat Masuna. I have a couple of other things that I'm gonna stick in the place. Look, honey, you go ahead and get it. Look at the bee. But I do have a couple things that I'm going to put into place, because I've started tomato seeds. I'm going to start marigold seeds. We got our dahlias growing. I'm going to start squash again as well. So we're going to put that in there. But what I wanted to show y'all is from the first video where we planted, this is the Asian global mix. Like, it's growing really pretty. This right here is the purple bok choy, so this is something different. Now the Asian global mix also has the purple bok choy in here, but look at all the pollen on here, y'all. It's so much pollen that's falling, but this is just like a separate plant by itself, and I'm really happy with it. I want to go ahead and saute it and get it cooked up. This whole row back here is just purple bok choy. But now I can actually start harvesting these leaves right here and putting them in the salad. So probably over the next week, with the lettuce that we have growing here and the lettuce that we have growing on the patio, I'm not going to have to buy any lettuce mix probably over the next month or so, because once it starts to heat up, lettuce is another one that will bolt and go to seed. So my lettuce, my cabbage, my collards, they're the ones that we planted in fall. Now these are fall planted, but I'll show y'all in just a second. I bought the start. So we have what's called a 45-day cabbage. Peas, some people call them snap peas, but this is the actual vegetable. So we direct sowed it. Now, since it is warming up, they have germinated, and I have to come in and thin, because what I did is I planted 2 per area, and some of them germinated good, but I see that these are 2, so I have to come in and thin those out. But this is what I love about the sweet peas, y'all, is they kind of find their way. Let me come right here, because these are finding their way. The tendrils, they're finding their way onto the trellis. Like, plants are really smart. And as they find their way, they're connecting on to here. And so we're just going to have them grow up. But I'll get back right here, because for spring, we actually fall planted these violas as well. And they're just, I don't know, I just love this bed. I don't know which one is my favorite, but I absolutely love it. And then, although this is thyme, it's called Foxley thyme, I just put that here for decoration. And then our salvia right here is starting to emerge. So I'm gonna make a video, y'all, because what I do when a lot of the spring plants are coming is I go ahead and get a slow release fertilizer, and really feed the soil for the spring and then plant. So I got to make sure that I do that. So I want to show you just really quickly the different 4 beds, and what I've started planting in the herb bed, and then what the other beds look like. What I will tell you is that I started filling the raised beds with soil, and I said to myself, this is going to take all day. So I called back Renew Urban Garden, because they actually have like a work truck that's able to drive up to the beds and dump it, because I'm like, this is going to take me forever. I spent so many trips to one L shape that I'll show you in a minute, and I was like, okay, that's enough. But let's go to this bed right here, because I'm so happy that the celery is growing. And I absolutely love, this is Italian oregano. They have Italian and they have Greek, but this Italian oregano is everything. And I'll probably harvest some of these as well and just hang them up to dry. This is how I make a lot of my spices. But Sunday, I had celery on my list and I couldn't find celery. I think I was at Costco. I saw celery hearts, but I couldn't find like the normal celery that I buy. And I had to check myself because I was like, why do you have this on your list? Because you have celery right out here in this garden that is growing so well. And these are fall planted as well. So the celery is fall planted. And then the violas are fall planted as well. So the celery is starting to do really good. I'm probably going to give it like a liquid fertilizer, a liquid feed, just so that they can really get right. But what I do with the celery is, what I love about growing my own celery is, y'all know how a lot of the celery in the stores is the celery stalks minus the leaves. Well, you can have your own leaves too. And so this is the 45-day cabbage that I wanted to show y'all real quick. So it's doing good. We'll probably give that a good feed. But this is the, oh my gosh. At first, I was thinking they were not going to come back except for one, but they're all coming back. So we're going to clean these up right here. I want to say it's a type of speedwell or a type of salvia. So when I have perennials like this, once they start emerging from the soil, that's when I will give them some plant tone. It's a slow release fertilizer. I'll go ahead and give them that, and then they'll be good for at least 3 or 4 months. And so I'll show you some more that's emerging from the soil. So that's on my to-do list for this week. And then this is the alfresco mix of lettuce that is coming through, and it's coming through really nicely. So like I said, in the next couple of weeks, y'all, I will not have to buy lettuce for a while. And then this is the Greek oregano that's coming back. And then we have some thyme like over here in the corner. So I'm going to turn around really quick and I'm going to go really fast. So I just planted some lettuce. We got a video up where we planted that, but it's really growing good. Like I told my friend, I think once it gets a little bit warmer, I'm going to pull out my shade cloth because sometimes in the heat of the day, the plants really do feel it. So I'm going to pull out my shade cloth and just, since I kept these up, we'll just put it over here and clamp it down. But I'm just in love with how the pansies are coming back. All of these are fall planted as well. I want to say this is lemon thyme over here, and then from seed, put some bunching onions in the ground and some more winter savory. I'm really excited to try this. But this is the plants that I was telling you about. We got these on clearance last year at the end of the season, and they're perennials. These are Veronica, like the Veronica Speedwell. And so that's what I'm going to do. I am going to move the straw back, fertilize with the plant tone, and so they will be good. And the bees and the butterflies love them because I like to plant vegetables, flowers, and herbs together, as y'all saw with the bees, with the bee over here and he's back over there with the cabbage plants. Like whenever I plant my fruiting vegetables, I always like to plant a plant that is pollinator friendly so that they don't have a far ways to travel. And so that way they can pollinate my tomatoes, my squash, my eggplants, my peppers, and it'll all be like in the same area. So I do like to do that. So you'll see that I have vegetables, flowers, herbs, all planted in the same area. And this is also a good one. This is salvia. It's starting to come back, so we're going to feed that as well. And I planted some arugula. I love arugula in salads. But here's the thing. I don't think my rosemary is going to come back. This is the trailing rosemary that we planted. When it got down to 13, I think, and all of my other varieties of rosemary, they weathered through, but something about the trailing rosemary, I don't think it's coming back because it would be emerging from now. I keep thinking it is, and I'm like, I'm gonna give it about 2 more weeks, but I'm probably just gonna put another herb right here. But y'all, right here, I think all of these are my favorite beds, but I think visually I'm just absolutely loving this one. So we planted some walking onions, and you can see that they're starting to get like the little bulbs on the top. So the walking onions basically get these bulbs on the top and they fall over, and then they just kind of plant themselves in the ground. So probably never have to buy any more walking onions again. And this is also a great way to be able to share them with others. This was like from Baker Creek, and it was a certain type of walking onion, and they gave the story about it. That's why I like Baker Creek, because they give the history behind it. But I know these were from like Pennsylvania, and it was a story behind it. And so we fall planted these as well. They tough through the winter, tough through the 13-degree soil, and so now they're starting to come alive. But what I am going to do is feed them as well. So a lot of times I'll use garden tone or I'll use plant tone. I'll show you in a minute the onion bed. So we got to give that some bone meal. I like to feed my onions and my garlic bone meal once the season has started. But I just visually like this bed. The strawberry plants are starting to come. They're looking beautiful. They're growing, and hopefully we can get some runners and create new strawberry plants. And then we also, this is some parsley that we started from seed that's starting to really grow, and then some more salvia. You can tell that these were on clearance because I would just keep going back and keep going back. So I'm glad that I did get them. So we're going to feed them too. I can't wait to show y'all those purple spikes that come up that just absolutely look beautiful. And I just put some snapdragons in the middle. They're starting to put on blooms. And then the winter savory again, it's slowly but surely. We started these from seeds and soil blocks, and they were so small, but slowly but surely they're starting to come up, which I like. And I hope y'all are not commenting because I can't see for some odd reason. But I do thank you for your time and for joining us. These are like the last few kale that I have got to put. I put some kale in some smoothies. I put some kale. I think I'm going to cook kale tomorrow, either kale or cabbage, one of them, because they were actually starting to go to seed as well. As you can see, I've stripped the leaves off of these two. And then this is some more thyme, but unfortunately the writing fell off. I tried my best to put it in here, but I love thyme. Like, thyme has so many benefits. It's not for culinary. I mean, it's for culinary, but it's so many benefits beyond culinary that thyme serves that I really can appreciate it. And so I popped some of these are the tennis ball lettuce. And so when it got down to 30, it took just a little bit of cold damage. So I'm going to hope that it's going to pop back. And then our sage, we had two different sages in the garden. This is like the variegated sage. So this is coming back as well. But just from afar, y'all, I'm just really loving what's going on in the garden. I still got to do some cleanup, but I want to show you really quick before I get off the onion and the garlic patch, and then also the raised beds. So right here, these are our onions that we fall planted, and this is what I'm going to come in, and I've made several videos from it of where we apply bone meal, because bone meal helps with bulbing. A lot of people have problems with their onions. And so I plant them in the fall so that they can get good root growth, start getting established. But then I come in when the spring starts and I expose this and I start putting bone meal around here. You see, this is kind of getting nice and thick, like I like it, like an onion. And I'm going to expose this. I'm going to put some bone meal there, and I'll probably do it maybe one more time just so we can start getting those bulbs. So I know that they have good root growth. They're starting to get very thick. So now I want to come in and I want to do the bone meal treatment so that we can have some nice bulbs. And then I got to clean out a lot of this stuff too. And I do the same thing for my garlic too, y'all. So we planted these in the fall, and they're getting nice and thick too. So we're going to do a bone meal treatment, and I will make sure that I do a video about it. And then our strawberries are coming back. Now this right here, y'all know I say about the straw, sometimes you got good batches and sometimes you got bad batches. This is not a good batch. I need to come in here because I just don't like the way it looks, and I need to clean like all of this up. But like I shared with you in a previous video, the family that built our raised beds, she said what she's been doing is when she gets the bag of straw, she opens it up. It takes about a week process. She opens it up. She will then put water on it, saturate it, let those, if it's any straw or weed seeds in there, they will germinate. Once they start to germinate, close it back. So basically you're suffocating it, and then you can put the straw down and it should do a little better. So I'm definitely going to try that because I just don't like the look of these. And I've been harvesting spinach like from fall all the way to now because I absolutely love spinach omelets. And then we have some more. These are phlox. They're coming back. So I need to clean all of that up and then put more plant tone on here. So really quickly, y'all are getting a sneak peek. Let me show you what I have done. So the two L-shaped beds are going to be for herbs and edible flowers. And like I said, y'all, it took me forever. It took me forever to fill this one, and this is not all the way full. And I still need to come back, but I just have so many plants I need to get planted. So we got calendula. We have some, oh gosh, what is this? Cilantro right here. You can barely see it. I got a water too. This is some za'atar. I tried this from Baker Creek as well. And these are just some starts that I bought when I went to one of my favorite places, and I still have to mulch this. I'm going to put the straw mulch on here. I'm going to water it in. But I do want them to come in, and I need a little bit more soil. But we got bee balm here and all types of thyme and hot and spicy oregano, which I thought I got 2 of those there. We'll put some more there. And then back here we have some pineapple sage, and I also rooted some pineapple sage that we will put there as well. So we'll have these 2 L-shaped beds. They'll be herbs and they'll be edible flowers. And then this is what we have to get filled up right here is these beds. And it's going to take a lot of soil, like a lot of yards of soil. And so we just been like putting leaves and branches and all type of things in here. And then they're going to come with some wood chips and some compost and some topsoil and a little bit of sand. And we're going to get these filled because this is where we're going to put a lot of our, summer vegetables and flowers at. And then the drip will be ran right here. So I do appreciate y'all stopping in with me. I just want to show you what we're doing. But let me show y'all this really quick before I go. I was going to put up here, one of these things don't look like the other. This is what, when you do hybrid or when you genetically, do different things like that. So I love these tulips. Like, they've been great. I've been cutting them. I've been having flower arrangements. But let me tell y'all, okay, I was like, wait a minute. When I saw this come up, I said, I know for a fact I did not get any yellow tulips. But this comes from when you, I guess, hybridize different things. So it's supposed to be purple and white, but we got one that decided it wanted to be yellow and red, which is okay. I mean, I'll cut that and put it in the house, but I've really been enjoying these tulips. So what I got with the tulips, it was like a early, one that comes early, one that comes mid-spring, and these are like the late spring right here. But we're starting to get our azaleas, and I do have some slow release fertilizer that I need to use for those. These were already here. Some of the leaves look a little sketchy to me. I really need to go ahead and treat them. And then like some of the leaves right here is like this plant not doing so good. But these were all here when we got here. So I just wanted to really just kind of see what was going on before I made the next move. But this is probably my favorite view when I walk in from the side is this maple tree. So y'all know when we came from Savannah, we had a maple tree in the front. This is in the back, but it's just so pretty. It's like a bonsai tree almost. And I just love the form of it. And so it's starting to get its leaves as well. But again, we got a lot of stuff that we have to plant. But I did want to show you the tulips and how this one yellow one sticks out like a coal thumb. So that is what we have going on. And so we will, I have some things I need to do and get planted. But the first thing I am really going to do is go ahead and get these cabbages out of here, because I just feel like the temperatures are fluctuating a little bit too much, like it's going to get warm again. And so what I'll do is I'll put some of those snapdragons right here, and then a couple of other things that we've been hardening off until I get like a plan again, and then I can start harvesting my lettuce. So thank you all for hanging out for me. I do apologize if y'all ask me anything. I cannot see the comments, and it could have been because my phone rang. But after the video uploads and renders, if you have some comments, I always try to go back in and answer all of the comments. So I hope y'all have a great afternoon. Thanks for taking time out with me today, and we'll talk again soon.